folks, welcome you all to this cheap little vlog of mine on the telephone machine, people, using the selfie stick like this for the first time, people. So we're going to have a little wander about while I chit chat. Flaggins up to you all from myself and Max there. Look, there's Puppy Max, people, for anyone that has not met him before. He's chilling in the captain's chair, people. He always likes to hang out where I am, but if I do go out, I notice that he likes to jump in the chairs that I sit in, generally speaking. That's the captain's chair, because right behind the captain's chair is the giant TV, people. So that's where I came from. Anyway, just as a heads up, this is going to be a very random little chit chat, people. It is Friday. It is Christmas. I finished my day job yesterday. I was going to just start chilling out straight away, but it was bugging me that my house is always tidy, but it hadn't had a proper good dust down and clean for ages. So, well, a proper one anyway. I kind of done a light work of it. So I've spent 5.5 hours gutting and cleaning my house, people. So that saves me doing it in spring, eh? But there you are. The reason I'm still side camera here is because I thought you'd like to see more of Max than me. He's a far better looking chap than I am, people. So this is just going to be just a little chit chat, people, about generally what's been going on with me and mainly the PlayStation 5 Pro. And the games that we've played there, people, along with Path of Exile a little bit and maybe Dragon Age, the Veil Guard and stuff like that, people. But it's not going to be a very long vlog. I'm not going to schmelt any fancy videos into it or anything like that. It was really off the cuff, and it was simply because it was Friday. I thought it's been a long time since I've done a Flaggers Up Friday vlog for you guys. And I because of the amount of the massive amount of cleaning work that I've done today, I really didn't fancy getting all the proper equipment out. And I mean, it's not that much fuss for me to do it. It's just setting up the camcorder and then schmelt it all together on the laptop and stuff. But I just didn't. After today, I thought I don't have that in me. However, I've still got every intention of doing a Christmas vlog, people, if I can manage it. We've still got 5 days till Christmas. 2024, people, just in case you're watching this in the future. Bloody hell, it's bright in here. You can see me wrinkles, people. So yeah, I've set up to chill out here. This is my little chill out area in the kitchen, people. For those that don't know it, back garden's there with the blinds shut, and you've got the kitchen on the other side. So most people would have a dining room table and chairs here, right? But I live on my own, so there's no point in me having a dining room table and chairs because I'll not use it. So this is my chill out area, and I used to have 2 guitars. I used to have my electric guitar on the other side, but that's now where Max's house is. So Max's little crate there, which I'm hoping to do away with. Actually, it was really just while he was younger, and then to see if he'd settled in, that he might not need to use a crate. So what I've been doing recently is when I go out for the shopping and stuff, I don't put him in it anymore. I just leave him to roam this downstairs area. And he's been brilliant. So I think the time is coming where I need to try getting him used to not sleeping in there, or at least leaving it open and not shutting him in at night, and see how he gets on with that will be the next step. The longest I've left him roaming around the house was for about an hour, until yesterday. I had my day job's Christmas dinner at work. So I went out for that, and I was out for about maybe 4.5, 5 hours or something. So I timed it so I wasn't leaving him for a full day. And I didn't try spying on him or anything. I have got a little camera, but I thought I'm just going to leave it because if anything is going on, it will just spoil it for me anyway. So I thought I'll just leave him to it. And when I came back, he was good as gold. He was just sat there chilling out, not a problem. Super excited to see me, which was really nice. So I mean, I'd like to be in a position where he can just come and greet me when I come home and stuff like that. I don't leave him that much, to be fair, because I work from home most of the time. But anyway, so it's all good. Yeah, it's all good with Max. So that can probably go at some point soon. He's got his little toy box here, which has got his name on it. Max. I should have thought that through, really. I could have put a dog on it, but I figure I'm probably going to have him for at least 14 years. But apparently Border Terriers live for quite a while, people. So thankfully. So he'll be with me for quite a while. So we can just chit chat about my thoughts on the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think the last vlog that I did was just before the Pro arrived. And so you can see the ugly part of the room there where all the coats are hanging up. Not to worry. I might actually sit down, people, so it's not like making people seasick or anything. I'm trying to remember the name of that film that was like nothing but camcorder. What the hell was it called? Me and my dad went to see it. Bloody, oh God! We both felt bloody sick by the time we came out. It's like, oh, Flaggins up to you, people. Very nice. This is my first beer since summertime, people. You see the Millennium Falcon lamp in the corner there, purchased by my father for Christmas one year. Absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love it. It was like when I opened it, because you thought, I'm not sure what you're going to make of that, because I like collectible things, like Star Wars or game things, that sort of thing. So he wasn't sure what was going to make of it, but when I opened it, I immediately knew that was the spot it was going in, in my little chill out area. And just above it, you can see my lightsaber, which is the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, and that's my sound bar where I play all my music through. Some old CDs there, the good collection out on display. That's a little Dalek there in the corner. That's that Dalek there. It's actually a tabletop Dalek, so if you turn it on, it'll move around your desk, but it'll never fall off. It's got like little sensors in it to know where to go. And I think it says exterminate and stuff like that. Anyway, there's some knickknacks there. There's some Star Wars collectibles sort of kicking around those shelves as well. But yeah, Millennium Falcon. I can't remember what I was saying now, people. Anyway, it's been a while since I did a vlog anyway. So I think the last one I did was the run up to... I can't quite get myself centered in this. It's because the camera's on that side of the phone. So the stick... I'm holding the stick in front of me, but it needs to be over there somewhere. All right, let's try and tilt it, people. Yeah, so I think it was about a week or so before the Pro was arriving that I did a vlog on whether or not it was worth buying or not, based on what was heard at the time and all that sort of malarkey. But I don't think I did a follow-up to say, was I having a good time with it? Did I think it was worth it in the end? And I think that it's been, all in all, I think it's been a super successful launch for Sony. I think they've absolutely done... I'm surprised Xbox haven't done one, to be honest with you. And I think like usually they can sniff out if a competitor is doing something new, they can usually sniff it out. But they don't seem to have sort of tweaked it, or if they knew about it, they weren't bothered. It's like Sony just seemed to be my Xbox just seemed to be wanting to become a software developer. That all they seem to be focused on is pushing Game Pass, and I'm not sure how that's going to land with the sort of full-on Xbox community. I mean, it's nice as a side thing to be able to game anywhere, but the proper gamers want to have a proper console and play on it. And I feel like Microsoft seems to be going away from it. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, they have said that they're committed to another console in the next gen, but what kind of console are you going to get if their heart's not in it? You know what I mean? It's like... I mean, that said, though, apparently the Xbox Series X holds up pretty well compared to the Pro, but it's still not quite as beefy. So the Pro is just outperforming everything, really, unless it's had a dodgy patch on the game. Most games, I found that there was a few games that are a little bit dodgy. Path of Exile is... I'm reluctant to say Path of Exile is because of a PSSR patch. It's probably more that it's in beta and it would tear anyway. But I had a really good experience with it up until Act 2. And then sort of several levels into Act 2, there was screen tearing all over the place. The only other place that screen tearing was happening... I'm going to change hands, people. The only other place that screen tearing was happening was the towns. Every time you went to a town, there was screen tearing all over it. And it tends to be worse if... there's a lot of people in the town. I think this sounds better, actually. I'm getting more centered into the camera. So I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, and I think the developers are getting used to how to utilize the PSSR and how to utilize the new power. I think some of the best experiences that people have had have actually been the extra horsepower that's in it with the settings that were already there. Like, I think I put Dead Space... I tried Dead Space on it before it was patched, I think. And also Callisto Protocol. And they all felt better just with that extra horsepower in the graphics card. And then when they got patched, it was even better. And in fact, Callisto Protocol is absolutely stunning. Really, really good looking game. And it wasn't perfect, Callisto Protocol. I remember there being little bits of tearing here and there when I was playing it. Just in very, very busy places where there's a lot of fire motion going on. But on the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's just sublimely smooth. I mean, I've tried. If you look at the channel, I've got a playlist called PS5 Pro 4K, where I've actually recorded in 4K for the first time, and I've kept them to 20-minute episodes because the size of the files that generate when you record in 4K, certainly to a caliber that you'd want to put on YouTube, is just ridiculous. Like 20 minutes is what size was it? I think 20 minutes is the same size as I would have gotten for like well over an hour's worth of HD recording. So to do a proper Let's Play using 4K with the kit I've got at the moment and the upload, well, actually with the kit I've got at the moment, it's fine. Like the rendering wasn't actually too bad. It does take longer, but I could have lived with it. If I had fiber to my door, I think if you get full on fiber, you've got better upload speed. And at the moment, my maximum upload speed is 14 megabytes. So it would take, I think it took, I did put a longer video up actually, and I think it took it about 3.5 hours to go up. It was just ridiculous how long it took. Whereas if I do an hour's worth or an hour and a half worth of HD, it's an hour and a half to put it up. It's not, or an hour if it's only an hour's recording. It's kind of like for like, so it's not that bad. So it's just not feasible. But what I have done are these 20-minute chunks, so they can upload in the same amount of time, really. But at least I'm able to show you how it actually looks in 4K. Well, near as damn it. Obviously, when you upload to YouTube, they have their own compression going on and all that sort of stuff. So it's not quite exactly how you've recorded it, but it's as near as you're going to get. And I mean, I think that's gone down quite well with people. I think it's been a good thing to do. I think it's up until this point, it's always been, well, I can tell you it looks amazing, and I'm playing it in 4K, but obviously the recording you receive is going to be 1080p, which is, it is what it is. You can believe me, but it's nice for you guys to be able to see just how good it looks if you've got 4K screens and you're able to see it. But all of that said, I think the majority of people who watch any YouTube are probably watching it on mobile devices of some description, either iPads, iPhones, Galaxies, whatever. So I think most people watch it as a side thing rather than on their big screens or what have you. But there will be some. I mean, I know there are a few that have mentioned on the channel that they always put them on full screen when they watch them, so they can see if something's not right or whatever. But but I think the majority of people who watch my channel are probably watching on mobile devices. So it's not. I think for full-on Let's Plays, I think we're fine just to stick with the HD for now. If I get super fast broadband, I'd be more than happy to move to. I'd have to be stringent about an hour though, because the rendering is probably all right for that, but it does take I don't know, probably 3 times longer to render it than a HD one, which is super quick. And I'm really fortunate at the moment. I use a product called Filmora from Wondershare, and it's just so fast at rendering videos. It's unbelievable. Like every other thing that I tried was just super slow. In the old one that I used to use many moons ago, that was just so slow at rendering. But this thing just powers through them at proper good quality as well. Like it's unbelievable how fast it can render them. And I have got it's 7-year-old my laptop, but it's still super powerful. And it's really pissing me off that it won't upgrade to Windows 11, and they're stopping supporting Windows 10. And the only reason that it won't upload to Windows 11 is because Microsoft have decided not to support the particular architecture that's in mine. It's nothing to do with the power of it. It's an absolute beast, this laptop I've got for. I mean, it cost me about 1,100 quid at the time. So it's a powerhouse of a machine, and it's still doing a really cracking job for me. But I'm really pissed off with Microsoft that they've decided not to support that particular architecture that's in my laptop. It's a HP laptop. It's not like it's some weird side laptop, some weird sort of non-branded thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think there's some ways of hacking it so it will just install it anyway, but then you don't know how stable everything's going to be. So, and their answer to it is when they stop supporting Windows 10, then it's up to you to just make sure you've got stuff backed up, and if you get attacked or a virus, then it's your own fault. And it's like, well, that's nice, but I would have happily upgraded to bloody Windows 11 if you just fucking sorted yourselves out and made sure it worked with the hardware. I mean, it's got all the, it's got, I think it's an i7 processor, a quad i7 processor, and an NVIDIA 4 gig graphics card, I think, and it's a proper good, powerful machine. Like, so I'm really like bamboozled as to how Microsoft's got away with not supporting though. I mean, you would think there would be something that legally that they have to support hard when so many people are reliant on Windows. You would think that if it's just really old, then that's fine. But if it's just because they've decided that they're not going to support that particular architecture, whatever it is they've decided, they should be made to. Like, you shouldn't just leave people hanging like that when they've got business machines. I mean, it's kind of a business for me, I suppose. But I do it for fun. I get a little bit of money every 3 months, which isn't much, but it goes straight back into the channel. But it is kind of a business machine in that respect, I suppose. But there's plenty of people. There'll be hundreds of thousands of people out there that can't upgrade to Windows 11 with these HP laptops or similar. Anyway, I am where I am, people. But my laptop still is a bit of a powerhouse. But even with that, on any other software, I've tried a few. I've tried DaVinci. I tried my old one. I tried another one, and they're all dead slow. And this Wondershare is just Filmora. It's just so fast. It's ridiculous. I think it's about £45 a year or something. It's not a huge amount of money. So I've got that, and I've got for the phone. I've got InShot, which if I record like this, I can just smelt stuff together on the phone and post it up. I got sidetracked there, people, didn't I? So it's a bit like therapy again, this, because I've not done it in so long. It's actually quite comfortable doing it like this. The only downside is I'm reliant on these Apple headphones because I can't find another suitable microphone that sounds as good. Keep trying different things and nothing seems to work with the phone so well. But back to the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm having an absolute ball with it, and I can't begin to tell you, like, and it's hard to describe. Like, some of the differences are so fine that you have to see a side by side to kind of see what's going on. With Dragon Age Velgar, for example, it was playing sublime on PlayStation 5 anyway. And I was playing that a week before the Pro arrived, and then it plays. You can just feel the extra horsepower in the Pro. Like, you put any game in, and you can just feel immediately that it's just not struggling. It's going full pelt and it's fine. And I've done that every single game I've put in. I've just felt like you can feel that horsepower. And the only time that it's kind of not felt like that is with Path of Exile 2, only because it's still in beta phase. It's not anything to do with the Pro. That's just, doesn't matter what settings you pick out in Path of Exile 2, it can't seem to cope on the Pro in those areas or in the towns. But that'll get refined, and they'll just have to sort out the dynamic resolutions and what have you. So it is in beta phase. It was early access. We knew it wasn't going to be perfect. Fuck me, that is a really solid game. We'll talk about that in a second. So all in all, the PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm absolutely delighted with it. I'm super happy that was it a lot of money? Sure, yeah, it was. Did I have the money to burn? Yes, I did. So I did. And it's always good for the channel if I've got the most up-to-date hardware. Why watch someone play it on a lesser machine if, you've got to give every reason you can for someone to come over to your channel or watch it with you. And much as I would like to say my dashing good looks are enough, people, at my age, people, it's soft lighting that's the best thing. So I'm absolutely delighted with it. Is it a must-have thing? No, absolutely not. Are you still having a cracking time on a PlayStation 5 standard? Absolutely. It's still a cracking machine with plenty of horsepower in it. And you'll still have a great time. You just get that extra bit of juice and that extra bit of smoothness and the extra options. Your performance modes are going to be higher than 1080p or 1440p. You're going to get 4K on the PSSRs if they've been patched for it. And you just get you get that extra bit of experience if you want it. And I'm delighted I did it. I've been absolutely delighted with it. I actually prefer the look of it as well. I had the full fat with the disk drive version of the PS5, and I never liked the look of it. But the Pro, even though you look at it and think, oh, it just looks the same, it doesn't. Like, it looks a lot nicer and it's slimmer. It's got the what I call the Adidas stripes across the side. It's got a different stand on it that makes it sit nice. And I tell you, it looks lovely with because I had to buy the disc drive separate, right? Because it doesn't come with a disc drive. And they sold out of them because they made them for the Slims and they didn't make enough. They didn't realise that the Pro was going to sell quite as fast as it did. And they didn't have enough of them. And luckily I ordered one well in advance of the Pros coming out, so I managed to grab one and it was just sat there waiting for my Pro to arrive. But I was always kind of like, no, I don't like the fitting this thing on myself, and I don't think it's going to look right because it's not meant to be part of it. I tell you what, it looks fucking super slick, and once you plug that thing in, it feels like it's part of that product. It's not like some thing that sort of feels a bit rattly or loose or something. Once you plug that fucker in, it's like it looks proper part of it, and it looks really sweet lying on its side. I'd probably try and show you, but it's probably a bit difficult to show you this way around because it's in the other room. But yeah, super happy with it. Love the way it looks, love the way it plays, and I can't wait for more games to get a bit of patching for it. I'll be throwing up 2-3 episodes of things just so you guys can see the PSSR modes of things. That seems to have gone down quite well. Yeah, so I'll keep posting things up that I record on. If new things get patched, I'll keep making more videos and let you see how they look. As things stand at the moment, I'm still looking at doing more Dragon Age Veilguard Let's Play, and I'm still looking at doing Path of Exile 2 Let's Play. And I did put a poll up where I said I would try and do the top two, and it was Dragon's Dogma 2 and Dragon Age Veilguard. That Veilguard topped it, but as Path of Exile came out, Path of Exile 2, I've decided obviously to stick with that because it's very, very popular at the moment. I'll try and get my cool stuff in rather than just the wall. Veilguard, I was having a great time with Veilguard, and then I think what happened is I was doing all the side quests, and it's a stunning game. It's really great to play, loving the action, I'm having a really good time with it, but the side quests are not great, some of them. And the last Let's Play part that I recorded, I was so bored. It was unbelievable. Like, it was one of those quests, excuse me, people. It was one of those quests where it was like, speak to them, run all the way to the other side of town, discover something, run all the way back and speak to them again. They kept doing it backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. It was like just trying to make me look at this town. And I was like, that is not what a side quest should be anymore. Like, have you not fucking played The Witcher 3? Like, if you want to know how side quests work and how to make your audience captivated, fucking play that game. And then if you think making a side quest like that is anything like it should be, then you've clearly not understood how good that game is. Like, Witcher 3 is by far the best game I've ever played when it comes to side quests and everything else. They're all super interesting. You want to do every single one of them. Fantastic time with them. They've all got an intricate story. They've all got something interesting going on. Absolutely amazing stuff. And you get all your XP from doing them. Like, grinding in that world is pointless for XP. Doing all the quests is what gets you your experience. The only reason to grind is to get the materials out of the monsters and stuff, and it's a far better way of doing it. And anyway, so what I think I've decided to do is still going to try and push through with Dragon Age Veilguard, and I think I'm going to try and do as few of the side quests as I can after that fucking ridiculous one. I think maybe it's the faction ones I need to avoid or something, and just I'll do the story side quests for the actual characters, which I've done some of anyway. But in the main part, I think I'm just going to avoid side quests and just rattle through the story, because if I don't, I'll probably end up not finishing it on camera. Because that was not a good session I had the last one I did. I was not I was not having a good time, people. I was having an inferior experience, I think is the phrase. But it is a great game. It looks stunning. It is interesting though, because like Dragon Age Inquisition, I've played multiple times, but the more I play this game, I'm thinking I would never play this game more than once. Like, it's not really an RPG. Like, you'll see that story through, and that'll be enough for me. There's no reason for me to go back and play that game again. So much as though it's a good game, for me, it doesn't have any replayability. Like, because you're forced into these paths. There's no variety to what you're doing. You can't just fuck off and wander around the world for a bit, really, because there's not really that much to discover, because it's quite linear anyway. I equate it to being similar to like God of War and stuff like that, like the God of War Ragnarok and what have you, the remake of God of War, because it's kind of that level of RPG. Like, you get confined areas that you can look around. In fact, I'd say God of War might even be bigger, but in its areas, because some of its areas are pretty big. In fact, I probably had a better time in God of War as well. Still got Ragnarok to finish, as it happens. But yeah, I'm still going to try and crack through and finish that one. I was really keen to get back in it. I was having a really good time with Dragon's Dogma 2, actually, and I was really liking the pawn that I'd set up and everything as a mage and stuff. And that plays fucking beautifully on the Pro. Like, Dragon's Dogma 2 was gorgeous on the Pro, and it was really not gorgeous on anything else. Sticky and stuttery and stuff. So I've got every intention of coming back to that. I was doing a playthrough of that on the Xbox, but I think I'm going to leave that one as it is. And if I get back into that, I'll be doing it on the Pro, like most things, I think, because of the extra horsepower. Um, I mean, there's so many things I kind of want to play. I know my Aaron Brew, my son sent me at least 2 games for Christmas. I can tell by the packages that have come through the door that they're games. So I'm going to have 2 games there. I've still got tons of games that I've not finished. I've got games that I haven't played yet. I've got Final Fantasy Rebirth. I've got Ratchet and Clank. They were both presents from my son that I've still not played yet. There's other games there that I've not even touched. But what naturally happens is whatever if I get time to game, I end up doing it as a recording. So if I've got stuff like Ratchet and Clank, I wouldn't play on the channel, and God of War I wouldn't play on the channel. Final Fantasy Rebirth I wouldn't play on the channel. It's not really my audience. My audience are more into the sort of hardcore RPG really. So well, hardcore, but Western proper RPGs. Proper's the wrong word as well. You know what I mean, people. I'm not a JRPG channel. It's generally the Western RPGs that do quite well, or the ARPGs, the top-down ones. So there's tons of stuff that I'd like to do. In fact, I wouldn't have minded doing a run-through of Resident Evil 4 remake, because that's probably the best-looking one I've seen. That is absolutely stunning, that game. And in fact, you just put that on its normal quality mode with ray tracing on, and it plays at 60 FPS on the Pro. It just fucking doesn't even think about it, just does it. You don't even have to use the PSSR mode, you just run it at its normal 4K mode, and it's just unbelievable. And apparently Village is pretty similar as well, but I've not tried Resident Evil Village yet. Probably my 2 favourite Resident Evil games at this point. Well, apart from Revelations, I'm gasping on them to remake Resident Evil Revelations, first one. Absolutely loved that. I played that, I think, about a year ago or so, maybe. And I realised it was made for handheld initially, so graphically it's not the best, but what a game that is. An absolutely superb game. So I'm hoping that gets a proper remake at some point. Really good game, that. But sadly, not sadly, I think probably we'll get Code Veronica X and Resident Evil 5, but I don't know. I feel like they want to do all the numbered ones first. I don't know why you would make 6 again, but mind you, I don't know why you'd make 5 again. I mean, the co-op in that, bloody hell. I think it was popular at the time, but the whole thing's set in the daytime, and if you weren't playing with another human, it was just fucking annoying as hell. You had to give half your resources away all the time to another fucking character. It's bad enough in a survival horror without having to give half your stuff to somebody else, or they just keep going down. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they have got license, obviously, to just change it up a bit. But it would be nice to play that game maybe without the co-op, or do the co-op with the way that they did it in Revelations. The co-op in Revelations isn't someone that a human can't play with you. It's just an AI character that's running around with you, but they're useful so far as they can't kill the enemies for you, but when they're shooting at them, it kind of knocking them back and it's sort of distracting them. So they do kind of help, but they can't kill them for you. And I thought that was brilliant. As I remember, I don't think they can go down either. So you can leave them to it, and they're just part of the story. It was really, really cool having in fact, when you're left on your own for a bit, you kind of feel like, oh, I kind of miss having me buddy around with me. But anyway, lots to discover, I mean, the PSSR patches are going to come thick and fast, I'm sure, over the coming year. So I'll keep posting stuff up for you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We talked about Veilguard. Well, Veilguard, thanks to everyone who's watched the videos for Veilguard and Path of Exile and the 4K ones. And Path of Exile, Dragon Age Veilguard, I lucked out because it arrived a day early and nobody else had it yet. So I got 4 videos up really quickly before anyone else was able to do anything. And I think it's 14,000 now, that first video's got 14k. So there's some really great viewing figures on a lot of that early Dragon Age of Veilguard stuff. And same with Path of Exile. Well, not as high as that, but I thought I'd missed the boat with Path of Exile because I had a really bad sort of opening night with it. I just couldn't get any recording done. It just wasn't working in time. So I didn't start recording until the following day. And by that point, I thought, well, I've missed the boat, really. people have watched it elsewhere, but the viewing figures on it, for my little channel, the viewing figures are still doing really well for Path of Exile. So thanks to everyone who's enjoying that and following along with it, and plenty of you keep telling me to do more. There is one uploading at the moment, actually, so you'll have had part 15, I think it is, probably the same night I'm posting this up, flagging up Friday, 20th of December. And there's a part 16 which is already recorded as well, and that'll be going up. I'll probably upload it tonight, but it will go up tomorrow, Saturday. So you've got another 2 episodes. I think they were both over an hour as well, those episodes. And I'll be recording more as things go. I've got 2 weeks off work now, so I'll be doing plenty of recording, guys. And as I say, I have every intention of doing a Christmas vlog, without any shadow of a doubt, I think. So that's the plan anyway. But I thought I would, while I had the buzz on for this, people, and while I thought I've earned my pint today. This is my first beer. Have I said this already? This is my first beer since summer. Well, end of summer. Because once it stopped being nice to go up the seafront and have a beer, I've just not had any. So I've not had a beer since end of September. So, you know, watch me. I'll have 2 more of these. I'll be sloshed, people. Sloshed. Flagging's up to you again, people. You know I'd share it if I could. You know, I'm that kind of guy. Well, there you are. Yes, I have every intention of doing a Christmas vlog. We've got 5 days to Christmas. I sometimes record it on Christmas Eve, actually, but we'll see how we go. I've not quite planned my days out yet. Well, it's a Friday today, then we've got probably just chill out day tomorrow. Sunday. It's a Wednesday, isn't it? Christmas Day. So, yeah. I've got plenty of days to be planning one in for, and I'll record it properly. And I'll probably talk about some of the same things again, but I'll smelt in some videos and what have you if I manage to get it all done in time for Christmas. If that doesn't happen, the chances are then I might do a New Year vlog. Maybe do something for just to wrap up the year, that kind of thing. I sometimes just sort of go through my stats for the year as to how well the channel has done. Maybe some of the polls to see how they've done. But I've not done as many polls as I normally do through a year, so... But there you are, people. That's all I've really got for you. I really got this buzz just to have a chit chat with you on the cheap, on the quick, which is why I got this funky phone when I did, because I wanted to be able, and the selfie stick, because I wanted to be able to do on the fly vlogs like this without having to set up camcorders and smelt it all together and stuff. So I can just do it on the phone, use InShot to smelt it together with an intro and outro and get it up to you. And yeah, I've really enjoyed this, actually. And this selfie stick, I can actually turn it into a little tripod stand and stand it up. I didn't. The thing I used to stand it on, I took away. So, but I think holding it's been pretty steady. Pretty steady. Hey, should we have a look at Max again? Where is he? He's having a snooze, people. There he is. Little handsome man. Hey, Max. Max, say hello. Say hello. There he is. Blimey, that was a bit close to my face, wasn't it? Nobody needs that, people. Well, there you are, folks. That's all I've got for you. I thoroughly enjoyed that, actually. Did feel a bit like therapy in the end. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you in this little quick, cheap vlog of mine today, people. And I shall catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye.